Hey everybody, I'm John with Varian Grant. We want to wish a speedy recovery to my usual co-host, Josh Lyman, who's still recovering. We're going to give you news on what you guys can do in the coming weeks. For now, he's just still trying to rearrange everything and get things to work right. We wish him the best. And Varian, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to our listening and watching audience, by all means.
Hello, everybody. My name is Varian Grant. I am a comic book artist, writer, publisher, all those good things. Oh my goodness, I've done so much. Founder of IndieVolt.com, one of the founding members of Terraform. I just so much stuff, man. So much stuff to introduce. So much stuff to introduce myself. Let people know I belong here. I really, really do. I'm hoping you all are having a great day today, and gonna help out Rob today, and we're gonna talk about the news.
And unfortunately, it's not going to be a banner show of good news. I wish it were, but today's going to be a rough one. And we're not going to shy away. We're not going to shy away from news, and we're gonna cover all this stuff. And let me get Varian in here with me. So stop stop protecting sexual predators. That's the message going around. Men in comics say no. There are a lot of ideals we claim to honor in comics: hope, justice, unity, innovation, creativity, and freedom. None of them mean anything unless men in comics change our behavior and hold each other accountable for the safety of women and all people of marginalized gender and sexes. So it is being asked that you pledge to never abuse, harass, groom, or manipulate women and all people of marginalized genders and sexes. And you shouldn't just do it to anyone. How about that? Don't take advantage of anyone. To hold myself accountable for my own actions, be open to the comments and concerns of my peers, and educate myself. I think that's going to be the hardest one for a lot of people. And I'll admit, sometimes I come off headstrong and New Yorkish, and I am trying to work on that and listen to people a little bit more. And it's a learning process, but we all have to do it. We have to be open to feedback. To actively intervene when we see or know of abuse, harassment, grooming, or manipulation. That's a big one, because when we stepped up and called out Dirk Manning for the things he was doing and demanded answers, so many of you sat there and said, but. I don't want to hear buts anymore. I don't want to hear buts. I don't want to hear excuses. If you're not going to be part of this solution, then sit down and shut up. To ally for women, all people of marginalized genders and sexes experiencing abuse, harassment, grooming, or manipulation. To actively call out our friends and peers even when no one else is watching. To commit to this pledge for the long haul and keep this conversation alive in the industry. Bottom here it says, we understand marginalized genders and sexes to include, but not limited to, non-binary and binary trans people. Two-spirit, agender. I don't know if they mean agender, or I'm not sure about that one. And gender fluid people, as well as intersex and people of any gender. Agender is new to me. I don't think I know about that. But what do you think about that, Varian? I mean,
I like the pledge. I like the pledge. It's sad that it had to be wrote down.
Yeah. And you can make this not about gender and just make it about people, because in comics we need to do a lot more cleaning than just about gender.
I will say this. I like that it says men in comics say no, but I think it should just be talent in comics even, because look, there were times where, and I think that we're going to start seeing this more, and hopefully it does come to the light. There are people helping people make connections to make it possible to cause abuse and whatnot in this industry. I'm talking about a male abuser actually having others be able to kind of go out and get his next victims for him. And this is all over. This isn't just one or two people that this happens, that I've been told about. Oh, well, his girlfriend, actually, I thought it was his girlfriend, but his girlfriend actually kind of pulled me in. It's very Nexium like, where there are a lot of people that actually help you get these victims in. And I think that the victims need to learn. I wish some of the victims, I just wish some of them would know that there are people out here ready to listen to their stories, because there are so many that, because of their pain, because of their shame or embarrassment or whatever, they feel like they can't come forward, and they don't want to come forward. There were a lot of women who did not come forward for previous accusations, and it's like, maybe if you would have come forward, I would hate to be the person who didn't come forward because I didn't. Something happens. I mean, Rob, in this industry, if I deal with a printer who isn't on the up and up, I quickly come to you and everybody else and say, "Hey, printer A, B, and C are."
Well, just call it Kraken. Kraken's a perfect example. We can use them. Kraken.
I never use them. I never use them, so I don't know. But
they screwed me over. You can use them twice. They screwed me over twice. So by all means, we'll use Kraken as the example.
I would go to everybody I know and say, "Don't use this printer until they get new management or ever." They screwed me over. So it's nothing wrong, I think, when you're in the industry and you see that, because then you might come and say, "Oh, dude, I wish I'd have known that you were going to use them because they did this." If you would have said something earlier, I wouldn't have used them. I would have gone else and take my money elsewhere. So I think it's very important to kind of speak up to these things. I do like that it says actively call out our friends and peers, even when no one is watching. Look, a simple pulling them over to the side, because calling them out publicly could be a bit of a problem. But if I see, someone acting, out of line, I'll put them to the side, let them know, "Hey, man, that's not going to fly. You need to stop that." I'm just worried about calling them out in public, going on my Facebook. "Hey, Bob is not acting, untoward to women. He's, grooming, and he is manipulating women and men to do whatever, he wants them to do, or, for sexual favors." I would feel bad about that in a way. But then again, I mean, that might be the new world we live in, where we're going to have to do that.
Just to cover 2 points real quick. First off, blaming people for making connections is a slippery slope. I won't address it directly, but I did see today where 2 people wound up having a conversation and mended fences on a just bad intel where someone was being accused of something they never took part in. And that can quickly happen, guilt by association. I mean, there have been lies told about me, and people came to you about them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Any proof without receipts, as the thing goes. No receipts to this date have been given about things accused of me, but they came right to you and were like, "Well, why aren't you canceling them, Marion?"
Yeah.
And that's the world we live in. So it's a slippery slope, and I understand the not going to social media. I get it. You don't want to go to social media because you don't want to be part of that culture, right?
Yeah, you get it. It's almost. I'll tell you this. As far as this goes with the grooming, the manipulation, the sexual harassment of women in comics, I'm a straight male, and I've talked to other creators who identify as straight males, and I'll tell you this: it's 75-25. 75% the people I've spoken to are ready to see things change. They think what's happening has been horrible. And there's a 25. There's 25% that are like, no, they don't. There's something else. Something else is going on here, and not something else is going on, and that there's a bigger conspiracy at play. I'm talking about they don't want things to. They think that the victims are the problem, and that's kind of scary, and that's kind of sad when you hear of it. When you think of it, it's like, man.
Well, I mean, you got to be honest, and let's just call it what it is. There are females fueling those fires of condemning other women. There are female predators out there as well that we're not addressing with this moment. But this is one of those moments where I'm acknowledging it, but still saying this is important.
Yeah.
You guys get that? Sometimes it's okay to call out the men without having to call everything out. Like, we don't have to. This is about a specific moment. Yes, I'll acknowledge women can be a problem. Yes, we saw women not step up to call out their predator because they were waiting for money for an interview. That's horrible. That's horrible. It's despicable. And then we saw other women who called people out and then go get a job working with that person. So these are real things that are happening. But it doesn't excuse anything. It's just noise. The end of the result is abusing anyone is wrong. Men have a tendency to be doing this more than women proportionately. That's why we're having the conversation right now. I don't hate men. I don't have anything against men. I don't have anything against dating. I have things against predatory stuff. And yes, I know right away there's a bunch of people who probably tuning in going, what about the girls who are going to use this as revenge? And I'll be honest, as a parent, as an uncle, I'm very worried because I know women can be manipulative just like men are manipulative. And I know people do shitty things when they're angry. And yes, revenge is going to be used in these circumstances. But if you don't do something wrong, there's never going to be a receipt. The worst is you're going to get dinged for a little bit. For a little bit, people are going to be asking you awkward questions like, well, did you do this to her? Just answer honestly. Jesus fucking Christ, be an adult. You know, you don't have to be a coward. You don't have to run and hide.
I think that for, like, I've mentioned this before, my first office, and I'll make it very quick. My first office, we had the booth girls that come around the office, and I would always kind of tell the guys, look, man, we got to kind of keep it together because the last thing you want is some type of, want someone to get mad with you and say you said something or did something that was out of line. I think in this industry right now, it's been such a, I think Randy always says it, it's been such a misogynistic industry for so very, very long that now it's almost as if the chickens are coming home to roost. And we're now learning and now receiving our just desserts, because there are people that we've allowed stuff like this to happen for a very long time. And now we got to clean house. We got to go through here and clean out things and make sure that people are going to feel safe and welcomed in the industry. And no matter their, orientation, gender, just no matter what, they need to feel safe when they come into comics. And, I know Rob won't agree with this, but I think that these are the first steps that we're taking are, sometimes they don't seem like enough. It seems like we need to be a little bit more strict. You get caught doing bad, maybe kick your ass out. I wish we could say no, but there are people who they do have influence, and therefore they've been able to skate by.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, we got to leave room for improvement. There's different than someone acting like an idiot versus rape. We have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge there's a difference between manipulation and rape. You have to separate those two. They are not the same. Yes, very ugly. And I do agree with you. I think that any step is good. The other day I shared a list. That list happened to have 2 bad names on it that weren't bad people. I put the retraction in as soon as I got it off of social media. The guy apologized. I posted that because he asked for it to be posted. But a conversation was began. And that's the point. We need to start talking about this. I'm not for a witch hunt. I want the women to be the ones speaking. And when that thing went down with Dirk Manning, and I'll only speak for myself, I asked everyone that I got in touch with, do you want an interview? Not one of them wanted an interview. And granted, I get some of that because some of it's just not wanting to go through it publicly. And you're right. They're afraid Dirk Manning's going to attack them. We know someone who got a cease and desist letter. The only crime this kid ever did was tell the truth. Mm-hmm. This is the reality of the situation. Dirk's answer to everything was to block everybody. Mm-hmm. We don't know the full story. That's the fucked up thing. He apologized. So now all we can assume is that he's guilty for everything. And he's not guilty. Go ahead, Barry.
I'm sorry. I sent you a link. I sent you a private message. Someone wants to come in because I will say this about that situation. I've got a chance to know that individual, Dirk Manning. I've got a chance to before all this happened, and I had begun to hear stories about a week or I'm sorry, not a week, about 2 months so before shit hit the fan, and it when it did, and the names started coming out. It's like so many of these women were just on my friends list, but were women I'd actually met, and women whose work, be it cosplay or journalism or whatever, I had enjoyed their work, and so it hit kind of close to home because Dirk was somebody I'm aware of too, someone that I seen at cons, and he was always friendly to me. So I was, in a way, I was hurt, and I sat back and I was quiet about it, and I felt like, well, let's see evidence, and there were some things that came forward, and I think I'm still so shocked about it because again, you got a picture of Jason Latour up here. I don't know Jason Latour. I know he created Spider-Gwen. But it seems like when it's like really close to home in a way, it just hurts a little bit more to where you can't even talk about it. Like, nope, I'm not talking about it. It can't be happening. But it does, and I guess I know you were out there. And you suffered because you spoke up about it. Not just with Dirk, but with a few other people. You spoke about it and you said, hey, this isn't right, and you paid a price. You found yourself out of cons.
I found myself being attacked and people being sent. And yes, I know who you are who sent people. The reason I don't address you is you're not worth my time. Understand that we are here to be a positive beacon. Calling people out is not going to stop. We're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to have difficult conversations. And one of the people we're going to have those conversations with, so I do want to acknowledge he's in the room, is Randy.
Hey.
Randy, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We're dealing with it, man. Bad news today. We didn't even do an intro. We just started with a cold open because it's just one of those weeks.
Bad news. Bad news.
Bad news. A lot of people being accused of taking advantage of women. We're right back where we were 3 months ago when we said this was all coming out, and I think slowed it. But here it is.
That's what I kind of said before when they were pulling out that long list last week. You can't be sure unless you're sure about these people, and you can't group them all together into the same list because everybody has a varying degree of atrocities or not. So that's the problem with lists.
I got a list of assholes, but
nobody. That's a personal problem.
Yeah.
That should probably be taken up on a medical program.
No, but like with these guys and women, there are women on these lists, and that's important.
Yes, there are, and that's important too. But there were, that who's going to stand there and be the ultimate judge? You can't just go, you're bad. Well, you kind of repented. You're really bad. You genuinely suck, and on. One girl, one relationship. Multiple relationships, serial relationships, child porn, who knows what else.
Yeah.
And we're all in comics, so you know that we're all not completely right.
Yeah, but I think that what we're missing here, and that's the point. This kind of dilutes it. These things are really happening. And we're ignoring in our industry. Child porn comes and no one stops it. Not for 1 second does anyone come to the defend. They want to see the court case, right? We hear things that are very clear, like when Varian had that attack at a con with the racism. I was there with him, and we took that on head on, and I got no feedback, no bad feedback. When we call Marcel Dupree out for bad Kickstarter campaigning, people are trying to fucking defend him. When Dirk Manning is called to the mat and literally admitted to it, we can't forget that fact. He said, "Yeah, I'm sorry." Didn't tell us what he's sorry for.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't know. So
That-
now we have to assume that sorry is for everything you've been accused of. And we asked you, and what did you do when I asked you? You blocked me. So that's how you dealt with the conversation. Because someone was asking you hard questions, you blocked me. This is the problem with the industry, is that we're making excuses instead of stopping and letting the women be protected when they want to come forward. Because the minute they come forward, they get canceled. And me and Varian have had this conversation. When you really get canceled, you don't know you've been canceled.
Yeah.
You don't know for 6 months. 6 months from now, you suddenly realize, oh shit, I got canceled and I never knew it. And you're trying to fix your stuff. And you're seeing a lot of creators right now dealing with that. So I'm sorry, but we got to stop making these excuses and comparing it to it. Women have to stop being abused. It's that simple. And when we're seeing it in our industry, we need, and I know none of you guys are doing it. Like, I don't have to worry about saying that here. But I'm tired of seeing this news. I want it to stop. And clearly people know about it. That's what's heartbreaking. When Dirk Manning came up, all of a sudden people came up to me in my messenger were like, oh shit, let me tell you this. And I'm like, can you go on the record? No, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to get in trouble because of Source Point Press. Look, I don't care, Source Point. You can hate me all you want. This is the reality. You literally working with someone who's got bad press. It's just the reality. He admitted to it. We don't know what it is. You guys continue to keep him there. Well, and then you hired one of the accusers. And I'm not going to name her. I'm not going to name victims. We're not going to play the game.
There's a difference between apologies, mea culpas, and just sleight of hand. Well, if I hurt you, I'm sorry. Responses. You know what I'm saying? Disingenuous responses.
You know, when I was younger, I had started this thing, and I thought I was being genuine. I would, if I ever upset someone and I wasn't sure why, I would tell them, hey, I'm sorry for whatever, I hurt you doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who was like, a young lady's like, screw you.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? What did I do? I said I was sorry. And she's like, you're not owning what you did. And really, what I had done was actually pretty, it was pretty, I just didn't take them out of town with a bunch of buddies of mine because they didn't have the money to go. And long story short, I didn't take them. I left them at home. So, she was upset about that. But it was like, she's saying to me, you have to own what you did.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what? Mm-hmm. What did you do? Do you understand what you did and how it hurt me? And then we can begin to work on, healing from that. But if I just say, "Oh, Randy, I'm sorry," if I come down there and I take Baby Yoda and dunk him in the toilet, I'm sorry. It's not a real apology. Mm-hmm. I should have to own what I did. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a problem. A lot of people didn't feel that, he had owned what he did. And I think he made two apologies, and they were very much kind of the same.
If I remember, they were incredibly condescending. If I hurt you, I'm sorry.
And they also the same way.
Kind of an attitude. That's not genuine.
But they're all saying it the same way, so it's a lawyer thing. They're being lawyered up and told that. And we're not going to spend the whole day on this. I'm really not going to spend the whole news program on this. But I'm fucking tired of it because I'm a brother. I'm an uncle, and I'm a human being who actually likes women. I don't have anything against women. I've been cheated on. I've had my heart broken. I didn't have a great relationship with my mother. I still don't hate women like these people do. Look, if you're having these kind of problems, if you need to groom teenage girls to get a good date, and of course, everyone's made that joke. Start with a young girl and groom them. A lot of guys have made that joke. The locker room talk is real. Yes, all that shit happens. And we need to realize that shit has to stop happening. We have to stop making those jokes because clearly not everyone thinks it's hee funny. Some people are taking notes and literally going to do that. I read dating books to learn how to engage with people better, just to hear the stuff. Now, I only took the stuff about talking to people and relating quickly. The rest of it's horseshit and manipulation. That's okay. It's society. Watch Barney on How I Met Your Mother. Watch Sam and good old Cheers. Go ahead, Grant.
I'm sorry. I did want to bring up one thing, if possible. I know you said you won't spend all day on this. I'm sharing a screen.
Watch Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men.
Yeah, exactly.
we covered a story, and then there was some movement in it last night.
Florida
Oh,
man. Oh,
no, well, no,
Charles Brownstein.
yeah, Charles Brownstein.
Bronstein.
He was the uh, big part of the CBLDF, which is Combat Legal Defense Fund.
He was the coordinator.
Say again?
He was the coordinator.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
years.
yeah. He was. Yeah, again.
Actually, I thought he was the president.
Executive director.
That might be it. Yeah, executive director.
Yeah. Basically,
he's the head honcho.
Yeah.
And he was out there, and unfortunately for him, he got called up for back in 2006 for what he had been accused of doing, which is a sexual assault against an artist named Taki Soma. And there was actually a big article wrote about it on the Comics Journal, which is linked on indievote.com if you want to take a look at it. But there's a list of tweets that people had made. People in the industry, Jennifer de Guzman came out, Brian Michael Bendis, Jamal Engel, and Taki herself had come out and said, yeah, this happened. Another gentleman who worked as the deputy director, Mike Scaligno, I can't pronounce his name, I'm sorry. But he said that he was actually harassed by the guy.
I believe that would be Scigliano,
okay, was harassed because of a severe illness and subsequent corn disease diagnosis he got. So,
not
Charles
like he had
Brown,
a wreath of black flowers sent to your house and told what happened to your girlfriend was your just desserts.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, that he was harassed by this guy. Well, there was, on the board over there at the CBLDF, Dennis Kitchen, Reggie Hoodlin,
Big names.
Jim Lee, Paul, the big names.
Frank Miller's over there too.
Frank Miller actually responded late last night.
Yeah,
and said, that. Yeah, I stand with the victims of Charles Brownstein. I am heartbroken to hear about his actions.
Yep.
I will no longer be supporting the CBLDF. And then the CBLDF came off a statement where basically they have parted ways with Brownstein. And this is what happened. That's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is on IndieVote is, how do you react when you find out that there is a predator, someone who constantly is accused of sexual, or many have accused of sexual misconduct in your company? How do you have to react as a company?
Right.
What are the best practices, the best steps to take? We're talking about that tonight on IndieVote. But yeah, I want to bring that up. That did. I don't know if we brought it up on the show here, but there are things happen. There are movements. There are things being done. People are being put out of the industry, or at least made to stay away from victims.
And again, there's no guide for this. There's no I didn't do anything that they didn't ask for. That doesn't make it right. There's if there's a pattern of abuse, there's a problem.
Yeah. I think that if people are having, you're right, patterns of abuse
over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, there's smoke, there's fire.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
The thing with Ellis, I think it was, I know with Bronstein too, that his accuser said that it wasn't just her, that there's other people coming forward. And I know, people that you had listed on the list, that there's multiple people.
Yeah.
And accounts that you and I have heard firsthand.
Yeah.
Of people that have had to deal with this.
Yeah.
And it's not just a one-time thing or a giggle or, hey, go to the back room, blow me, or anything like that. Are we adult here or not?
Yeah,
Should I be watching? Okay. And after I said that, now I ask. Yeah. No, it's repeated, constant behavior. It's like a brass ring on a carnival. Got one, got another one, got another one, got another one.
Yeah.
I'll wink. I'll hold up a milkshake or whatever, Yeah.
So it's a sad situation. And I said it earlier.
It's a sickening situation by a sociopath that definitely needs help.
I said earlier, I said, Randy, I think we're getting in. I know I've stepped away for a while, but is the comic industry getting its just desserts for being such a misogynistic?
No, yes and no. But the thing with the industry that's always been a problem is the Beavis immature mentality. I mean, we as an industry, as an art form, have got to mature, and that includes a hard level of decorum. You know, pretty soon nobody's going to want to talk to anybody for fear that that other person's going to accuse them. But we need to lift ourselves up as an industry to a level of maturity where we're treating people professionally and not as, like everybody says, locker room talk. You know,
Yeah.
we're not that kind. Rob had the panel on about the difference between community and industry. We're not a friendly neighborhood community. We're an industry, and we have to act like an industry if we're at all ever going to be taken seriously. And yeah, that means that some people need to be taken aside and they need to be told, look, you're not going to get any more work until you've had some hardcore counseling. You need to go away for a while.
Yep.
And there's just some people that need to go away for a while. And some people are away for a while. I mean, I know one person on that list I believe is still in jail. So for transgressions. It's just that, you know, repeated behavior is inexcusable.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Jason Latour. In fact, I thought Spider-Gwen was created by somebody else. So,
well, he's a co-creator, and to be fair, these are all accusations, but they're all coming out again. They're all circling around. This is all stuff that's happening.
it's all cancel scabs. You know how?
Well, not all of it.
And again, you have to address the point of how far does somebody have to go to be forgiven? Is it one transgression? Is it multiple transgressions? Now, what if creator A did this back in the early 2000s? He feels remorse. He's gone to counseling, and he's really making the attempt to be professional and be better.
Then he should have that conversation openly and candidly.
Absolutely, he should admit it, and admit his wrongdoing. But
I mean,
but he needs to be forgiven, right? He or she needs to be forgiven.
There has to be room for forgiveness. But the one guy talked about the fact that the guy you're talking about, Varian, literally said, well, it was drunken tomfoolery. No, fucking own it. I got drunk and acted like a real piece of shit. It's one of the worst moments of my life. If I could take it back, I would. From that moment, I've been nothing but professional. Yeah. Should be what he says. I mean, we have moments in our life where we cross lines. All of us do. Some go way further than others.
Yep.
But you're supposed to learn from that line cross, not write it off as drunk. Well, it was the alcohol that made me do it. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was raining alcohol and you got drunk from skin absorption. That's so horrible. I feel so bad for you.
Or have the sociopathic behavior to make it a personal goal to wreck people's lives.
Yeah, or use your fame. So a lot of times people don't know what to do with fame.
Yeah.
You see it in retail too. You get into a position of power and people start to abuse that power. And I remember I've dated girls that I worked with, and it's a slippery slope, and you're very nervous. And I knew guys who weren't caring about that slippery slope were more than happy to take advantage of it and flex those muscles, you know? And it is, look, relationships aren't easy. We all know they're fucked up and they're complicated. What we're saying is, you know, we're not talking about bad breakup shit. Chris Harden had to deal with that. I think that's his name, the zombie guy,
Hardwick.
right?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Chris Hardwick. Yeah.
He had to deal with that, a bad breakup.
Yeah.
And bad breakups happen. But we're talking about shit that isn't just a bad breakup. And if these creators want to step forward and have an honest conversation on the record instead of selling their books, but actually talking about it from the heart, we're open. We want to listen to that. There's nothing we like more in America than an the underdog story where someone comes back and shows that they can be better. And I'm all for personal growth. I don't think the Flash guy should have gotten fired for something he did 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But we can't just ignore the fact that we've let these guys have like a fucking pass. And maybe this guy
repeatedly.
Yeah, and maybe he doesn't need to step down. He needs to go on a vacation, or maybe he should have done the right thing and taken a demotion and earned his way back up the ranks. Hey, I fucked up. I'm not a good leader. I don't want to leave this company because I believe in the passion of this project. Put me at a lower level. I will earn your trust again. That is the shit we see in movies that we cheer at a fucking theater, and that's not what we're getting shown by these people. They want to run away or hide or ignore it and pretend it'll go away. Because that's what happens in the next news cycle.
That's not repentant behavior.
No, exactly. It's just I'm hoping this shit will blow over.
Yeah.
Well, you know, guys, here's the other thing too. And I know, Rob, you want to move on. The other thing is, it sometimes is hey, how we need to stop this right now, because if we don't, if we don't quash this talk, they're gonna get around to what I've done. And if they do that, then my ass is not just
Well,
canceled.
let
But
he without sin cast the first stone.
well, it's like, because some of these guys, look, some of these guys and women don't want the shit getting any further or coming out anymore, because it'll get around to what they did.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Look, yeah, it'll cancel my career, but what about my marriage? Oh my God, my wife will take me to the cleaners. And what about, this and that? Oh, I'll have to move, and I don't have any liquid assets. My God, I'll be all kinds of screwed. We need to stop this type of talk right now. So, I mean, there are those issues too. And I'll protect that person because I was in the
or
room.
the blackmail to keep it out of the talk.
Yeah,
Keep it out of the press.
yeah, and I'll protect this person because I was in the room when it happened. Hell, I
The bribery.
partook.
Yeah.
There's all kind of stuff. There's all kinds of reasons why this stuff will keep happening unless again, there's a concentrated effort to stomp it out wherever it may be.
Well, yeah, that's very true. But also important is that the behavior has got to stop.
Yeah.
We have to move on from this. If we're going to be an industry, we have to mature to the point of where we're treating everybody respectfully.
Mhm.
And that shit just won't fly anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, the back room, snickering convention talk, or even the bottom gossip BS that it seems to constantly go on, has got to stop. The drama has got to get over with, and we have books to do.
Speaking of books, it looks like Rob's got one up here. So was it Demon Bitch, the I Told You So campaign?
Yeah, Christy Shin has literally hours to go on this campaign. We're going to read you guys some pitches of things that are going to be closing out this week on Kickstarter. This is our last right segment of the show. Demon Bitch, I Told You So campaign, the Demon Bitch Shitty Tarot. I expect that it's a lemon. What is that?
A lemon?
Leonard Dick? Lemmer Dick. I don't know that word.
Leonard Deck.
Oh, okay. Still don't know. That's because she's stupid. Apparently I am too. Bad luck are a go. So, and that's just all humor. This is just, it's a satire book. It's meant to make fun of the human experience. Let's put it that way. Moby Dick, from the Deep, the issue of Moby Dick, and the Dick. Oh, wow, that sounds wrong. Moby Dick is the zombie in this book, which is a cool take on it. So definitely check it out. See what the resurrection of Moby Dick is causing on a small town. And we have actually a video for this. Actually, we had this amazing young woman on our program last week. Her passion is fire. We're going to go ahead and play it. It's only 40 seconds, but it's worth the 40 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into it right now. Here is her video, and you guys will see that we just switched over to Kickstarter Pause, because we'll play this tomorrow on the show as well.
Thank you for giving me the space. I want to thank everyone for watching. This is Kat Calamia. I'm the creator of Like Father, Like Daughter. And this is a comic book that has 6 issues right now. We are trying to kickstart the 6th issue. And with this Kickstarter, we have everything included. So 1 through 6, digitally, physically, whatever you want, you can get that book. And if you don't see something you want but you know is available, you can always message me. But what is this book about? It's about a high school girl. Father left her to become a full-time superhero. Everyone in the world loves him except for her. And then she inherits his abilities. And in issue 5, we reveal
and that's it. That's her talking about it. I think I might have uploaded the wrong ones. That was before.
I got a chance to meet Catherine Macon 2 years ago. Very talented. And she's going to go very far in this business. I think as long as again, I hate to say it, you have to protect people like that.
Yes.
Because there's somebody out there rubbing their hands together. He likes comics. Unfortunately.
We can hope not, and it's our job as men to make sure that she's never put in that position by stopping people from allowing that to ever happen.
Yeah. I think and I think that it's not to say that these people need
And
protection.
hold on. We do want to stress that she's never made any allegations.
No. But
I do want to stress that he's just talking about the same topic we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse them.
Right. No, but it's just like, the people, like there are people who look and say, oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm cute. I'm sure people want to protect me as well.
Cute as a girl. Go to his actual page. Varian as a girl is actually pretty hot.
Yeah.
I have conflicted feelings now. I told him to turn off his actual video today because I couldn't look at him anymore.
Yeah. No more.
Like, from now on, you have to be a logo when we're around each other.
Yeah.
1 and 2, a superhero comic book series is here, and it's ending soon. Make sure you get your copy. Super awesome. Actually, finally showing some love to those of us who are cripples, and I can say it because I am a cripple. The agency number 6, this is our good friend Ruben Romero. As the world of magic is thrown into chaos, a mysterious group once thought to be a myth will help, damn it, Riley and our agents. I'm reading ahead of myself because of dyslexia. But this is cool. I love the art in this. It's actually pretty damn good. And if you want to find out anything else that's crowdfunding, please click this link. This week we didn't have anything big from Paul Roof. He's still on vacation, and Rising Tide has been working a lot with Terraform Comics. Of course, I'm part of it, as is our good friend Varian here. We're the co-founders of it. I think that's the best way to describe it, right? And Randy's been helping us out as well with some great advice. So check out Terraform Comics today. And we're not going to, trust me, I've done a lot of videos on it. I know you don't want to hear it. You want to hear about the news. Even though Terraform Comics made a lot of news last week, we are going to talk about some other stuff. So here we go. This was some of the stuff we had going on when I asked for a call. And hold on. Why does that always do that? Give me a second. It always tries to open up whoever messaged me. So fucking hate that. All right, let's try that again. Give me 1 second. So real quick, while I remove this so I can double check it. What do you guys think about the DC breakup and the fact that they kind of went back?
Who what? DC broke up?
With Diamond.
I thought that they were just letting them distribute their stuff temporarily.
Yeah, like that whole thing is getting messy.
Well, it's only messy if you don't look at it from a business standpoint. DC needs product A to move to retailer C, and B is being a B. And if they don't straighten up, well, we'll get somebody else that'll do it. You're going to straighten up? Maybe we'll let you do it. That's exactly, in a nutshell, that's exactly what's going on. Their only concern is to make money by moving product to retailers. How it gets there is, by any means necessary. Depending upon the rumor that you subscribe to, DC is under a perform or die mandate from AT&T. So yeah, they're panicking right now. They need to get product out to the retailers so that they can make some money. So if Diamond can't do it or won't do it or refuses to do it or goes down and wants to give everybody hassle, find somebody else to do it. And maybe they jumped a gun. Maybe they are trying to actually expand the market for everybody. You never know.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, and I appreciate it.
In any case, right now, they need to make money.
Yeah, it makes sense. And for some reason, I can't get my page to load. It's crashing. I don't know if Facebook's having an issue today. So we're going to go and we're going to move on to other stuff. So we are running a little late today in the show.
It's the same type of deal that they're running with Walmart right now. I'm under the impression that for some reason, it's more profitable for DC to move 4-packs to Walmart than to package together those great old 100-page super spectaculars. So that's what they're doing. They're doing it to make money.
Yeah, which is what you have on hand. Now, Varian, do you want to explain what Indie Vault is? Or Randy, do you guys want to explain it? Because you guys are presenters of the news.
Indie Vault is the news from me and Randy. No, it's a channel that was created, a website that was created to, again, champion and promote independent creations. We got some independent. We got a lot of independent comics, which has always been our core focus.
Yeah.
We cover some independent films, very little independent music, but we have tied that into Indie Vote Radio, which is a radio radio station that we have, as well as Indie Vote TV, which is a television station that we have. We show independent movies. You can over the top network, much like Netflix, completely free. Same with our radio. You can download that on Google Play or Streamer on iOS. You'll type in Indie Vote Radio and you'll find it. Or if you want to use your Alexa device, you can definitely find us there too. And that's what we do. Randy and I come to you live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a couple other shows on the YouTube network as well. Those shows are also on our Roku TV, Indie Vote TV station. Then there's Geekgasm at 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Indie Vote Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. Thursday. Art of War at 9 p.m. on Friday. We love our nines on Indie Vote, apparently.
Yep, we're into the nines.
Yeah.
Marv says good night, folks. Great to see you. Good night, Marv.
Yeah.
Marv's in Portugal.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well. Congrats on Terraform Comics. I hope you hit your goals. Be safe.
Thank you, Marv.
Hey, thanks, dude. And I'm not ignoring anyone. I promise you. We just I didn't want to read any comments out loud because while we're alive, I didn't want to out anyone if they said something. It was a heated topic. So we will do quickly some stuff. Hello, Varian. Hello, Sarah. And hello, me, I guess. Hello, gentlemen, from our friend Gary Henderson. I'm going to skip over some of the cancel culture stuff because I think we covered that. Here, Eric Hawkins said this. Locker room talk doesn't even compare to what you will hear in an office full of women. That would make a sailor blush. And I do have to address the fact that, yes, women need to kind of understand that we all need to start watching what we say. And I'll leave it at that because I don't want to get deep into that again. And what's up, fellas, from our editor-in-chief, Luke Stone. And Pops Van Zant says, and lots of good people. Oh, sorry, Pops, I missed it. The entertainment industry is pretty much the same across the board. Lots of bad people, but lots of good people. So, yeah. I do want to talk about these things very quickly. We are running out of time. We started a little late, so we're going to wrap this up quickly. So, lightning round at this point. Batman and Forever director Joel Schumacher passes away. Our condolences. There's not much to talk about. We won't talk about a guy who passed away. We just thank him for the entertainment he brought us. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to say, Varian? I saw you unmuted.
Yeah, no, I was saddened to hear that Joel had passed away yesterday. He was a even Batman aside, which you can enjoy. I still enjoy those films. He was a very talented director.
Yeah, and it was a bad day for Batman fans, but it was also a good day, as we heard Michael Keaton might actually be returning in the Flashpoint movie. What do you guys think of Keaton putting him back on the cape and cow?
I keep saying he needs to be Warner needs to bring him in as the Joker just once. That's $100 million right there, right at the box office. Boom.
I am not. I like to see it just because of the legacy factor. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't think he was good in the role. I'm sorry, I didn't think Keaton was good in the role as Batman. I mean, if you ask me, Batman has been
beaten into the ground.
Christian Bale and Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think the Flashpoint movie, they're really going to have to go a long way, quite frankly, to beat the geek fest that was Crisis. Even if some of the characters in Crisis were handled incredibly, incredibly badly.
Yeah.
That they're not going to be able to match that level of geek fest for a long time to come. And them creating or trying to do Flashpoint and bringing in elements like that, only maybe just slightly bigger, just comes off as second class flashy, Oh yeah, hey, we can top that. Hey, forget Crisis on CW. Boom, we got Flashpoint.
I like Flashpoint, so I'm in. Take my money.
Well, I think Flashpoint is an amazing idea because the best work I think Marvel and DC have done in the last probably 3 or 4 decades have been the what ifs and the Elseworld stuff, because that's where the most creativity and inventiveness has come out of. And Flashpoint is definitely one of those kind of stories.
I did have a Superman of Tomorrow to show you, but we can't play a video. I guess it went just the video, but there's a new Superman of Tomorrow. Watch the video. It looks like they're once again trying to have a unique new take on Superman. So definitely check that out. And it's making him like, I hate to say it, but it looks like they're taking from Marvel, where they're making Superman now dress up like Peter Parker did at first. I'm surprised no one's called him out. I'm the first one to say it. I think they're ripping off Spider-Man a bit. Because Superman's up there in goggles and a black outfit.
Oh. Yeah, well, he was the Blur on Smallville for a long time.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And I think they're trying to touch base with that, but it just looks like Spider-Monkey from the most recent Spider-Man. So
yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And that's really it, guys. We're at the end of the show. We had some passionate conversations. I'm sorry to say that we had to talk so much about this bad stuff that's going on, but I am happy to say that, and I did want to save time for this. This is Terraform Comics, because of course it did make huge news last week. Please go to Terraform Comics, and I'll let Varian explain it, because I've explained it to death. I haven't had Varian explain why this is important. And look, he's part of it.
Yeah, I was roped into it. And, it feels like that CinemaSins thing where oh my god, they wrote before Varian granted is in it. No, it's I'm head distribution, but Terraform Comics, group of individuals that got together and decided that we were going to try to do something a little bit different for indie comics. Got Luke Stone at the helm, Rob Anderson's logistics. So that might mean that Rob's at the wheel, which is kind of scary. But I'm distribution, Meredith, social media manager, Eric Hodson, art director, and Brian K. Morris is the liaison. And it's been a real exciting, real exciting to watch it all come together from different people and see what we're all bringing to the table. I'll tell you this: it is a lot more interesting than kind of doing a company by yourself, because you wear all those hats, or you pass them off to your wife and make her wear like
1,000.
Oh yeah, you heard that. Yeah, 1,000 of the hat.
Go.
Yeah.
That's the voice of the indie princess.
Yeah, while you
1,000.
While you wear one, and hey, she makes me look good. But so yeah, it's real cool to watch that all come together. We got it's for me. It's been really cool to see the industry post things and post articles. I've seen that we had the Bleeding Fool article, which is nice. And I think, did I miss one? Did I miss someone else posted one, Rob?
Well, I know I put it out on my site. I think Geek Insider gave us some press. I think we got shared on Twitter a couple times by some great folks, and we appreciate everyone who's kind of joined the excitement behind this. And we are, of course, very excited about this. And I know me and Varian have talked about this between Indie Volt and even what we do on Comic Book Advocates. We realize that some of this is going to represent Terraform Comics. So we always source our stories. And I'll say that about Varian. Sometimes it's opinions, but we always source at least a point. We're just not making things up like other people do. We're bringing you guys something. We're giving an opinion on it. But they are separate from this. Both Indie Volt and our actual our Comic Book Advocate site are not connected to Terraform Comics, correct, Varian?
That's correct.
They are only connected through association. And understand, Indie Volt is part entertainment. Am I wrong about that, Varian?
No, there's some entertainment value there. There's some, yeah. I mean, you got anytime you got me and Randy doing drunk streams, it's entertainment.
There you go. If only just a point and laugh.
Yeah,
it's only just a point and laugh. So. I do want you guys to tell everyone anything they can support you at, go to. But also, if you want any closing comments, I know this is one of those shows that could have been just about that one topic, and we do have to try to get as much information as we can. I apologize, we couldn't get that Facebook link to work. For some reason, it was crashing on my computer. I don't know if Facebook's down or my computer is just being shitty. because it kept popping things up that it shouldn't have with Facebook. So I do apologize. Terraform works good though. So do you guys want to send our audience out with anything? You have anything to say to them?
You guys listen, it's very important coming weeks as we start to maybe fingers crossed get comics back on track in terms of going to conventions and everything. Make sure you take care of each other. Understand there's gonna be different opinions out there, and also remember this: no matter how mad you get, how upset you get, there are still laws. So let's not go out here taking a swing on each other. Let's go out and we can have those conversations. But those conversations need to be they need to be kept verbal.
You planning on people taking swings at people at conventions or what?
I think that's next. I've seen some things online. Yeah, Rob's like, let him try it. But
you've seen some heated discussions.
Some heated discussions. I've seen some threats.
We'll definitely have to talk about that off camera.
Yeah, I've seen some threats, and I just think
Barry, don't share what I've been telling you about what I'm going to do to these people.
And then catch me and meet me and Randy tonight on Indie Vote Live. One of the things we're gonna be discussing is what must a company do if they discover there's a predator or a sexual misconductee in their
That's because you're still the flip lid kid.
Yeah. In their midst, what must the publisher do? And we'll talk about that tonight on Indie Vote Live. You can find that on the Indie Vote YouTube channel, or follow that. You can find that by going to indievote.com or on YouTube. Just type in Indie Vote.
All right, and Randy,
if you're handing that to me, like what Varian said, we'll see you tonight and Thursday morning on Indie Vote, 9 p.m., 9 a.m. on Thursday. Gasm at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. On Wednesday, Art of War, Fridays, 9 p.m., all Eastern Standard Time, because we're listened to all over the world. We have a wonderful worldwide input on that show. The big thing I want to say is there hasn't been a more exciting time for comics, no matter what how you want to take the time. If you go out there and you look, comics are everywhere, especially here in the United States. Comics have never been more accepting, never been looked at as a art form as much as now. So crowdfunding, retail visits, retailers, conventions, whatever you have to do, wherever you have to go, it's an exciting time to be in this industry, despite the news and the crap and the lists and the BS. We are having growing pains, just like any art form that's maturing. It's expected. And it's how we treat those pains and mature from them is what's going to help make this industry even stronger and greater as we go along. Everybody deserves a voice. Everybody deserves a perspective. And the more, quite frankly, the merrier, and the more, the stronger. So everybody can learn from everybody. We should all be kind to one another and try to teach more than tear down. That's the big key. Got to stop the trolling and start the building up. Hey, this worked really good in your book. I thought this and this didn't. Maybe we should, let me help you. You can get this done by talking to that person. A lot of the interconnecting stuff and inner talk is very much the advocating work that Rob really, really works on trying to do. That's why we like him so much.
Well, thank you, Randy. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I echo everything Randy says. Matter of fact, I just don't have the stomach for self-promotion today. All this bad news, I can't pat myself on the back.
Well, let's try not to look at it as all bad.
No, you're right. But I'm just saying for me, just hearing about, because you also have to understand beyond this, I have a friend who is someone I'm working with who has been exposed to COVID-19. So today's
is he symptomatic, or has he just been exposed?
Been exposed so far, but it's worrying me. It's worrying me. I have my AC that's not acting right, so it feels like 1,000 degrees in here.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's under quarantine then, right? If he's been exposed, he's staying indoors.
Yeah. It's gotten to that point, and it's just been a long couple days, and no one understands. This stuff breaks my heart because it gives the black comics a black eye. It attacks creators who aren't even guilty, because we'll see that, because now finger pointing will start. And you will see possibly bad intel being spread about people, and that's already happening. But
Well, if it's not handled maturely, it's just going to encourage more wrong behavior too.
and just the way that people are acting online, and it's this whole COVID thing's driving us crazy. So today's just a rough day for me, and you'll have to excuse me. You can check me out, MrAnderson.com. I'm sorry I don't sound more excited. It's just a rough day for me personally. Knowing someone you care about has been exposed is one of the more difficult things with this. It's just difficult, and to hear all the bad news coming out, of course, is never good. But we got Michael Keaton back, so fuck you, Varian.
Well, he's in talks.
He was great.
That deal, that's just a maybe.
Don't say that, Randy. Don't take my one win away.
I'm just looking at it realistically. I'm much more excited about Rosario Dawson becoming Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, but that's old news.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that
could be great. Yeah.
We never talked about it, but yeah, that's super cool. That's awesome.
Or the rumor that they're talking about using the veil from Rebels to explain away episodes 7 through 9 and stick them into an alternate universe.
Wow, I'm in for that. Sign me up.
There's talk out there. It's serious talk apparently too at Lucasfilm because they performed so poorly.
Well, this is it for The Last Jedi.
You never know what could happen.
No longer episode 7, 8, 9 breaking here for I would.
The cool thing about that is that the more that they do and bring live action versions of these animated characters, the more people are going to realize that Clone Wars and Rebels are actually hardcore canon, not just canon, but written in stone canon, and that's a good thing because both of those series I thought were really good.
Yep. All right, guys, that's it. We're out. Make sure you check out Indie Vault tonight. Barry never says it, but he's the guy always kicking the gate open for anyone to be able to be anywhere they need to be in comics. And Randy will give you an education. Make sure you tune in tonight at 9 p.m. See, I can sound excited about that even on a bad day because I know it's true. It has to be something. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm barbecuing in the house, so I'm going to go take my shirt off and walk around.
Be careful, everybody. Be safe.
Yes. Oh. And Varian, last word?
He has no last word.
Bubblegum.
Off. There we go. Bubblegum.
I'll kick the ass and he'll chew the bubblegum. We'll see you next week on the news. Feel better.